Weeboos and Skeeboos, a scientific paper. Basic biology. Weeboos are short, bipedal mammalian creatures about 2 feet in height on average, with 2 translucent fins on their posterior. These fins are theorized to be used for echolocation purposes, as they don't appear to assist with movement in aqueous environments. Every weeboo has been found with 7 fingers on one hand and 5 on the other. It appears that whether the right hand or the left hand is the one with 7 fingers is a genetically inherited trait. These fingers have small claws and the arms reach down approximately to the knees. They are covered in short, coarse fur that, color-wise, is almost always some gradient of gray. Skeeboos are similar in appearance, but taller and lankier, with sharper, longer claws and 4 tubes of varying lengths on their backs. These tubes are used for the secretion of a viscous adhesive that are used in den construction / maintenance and slowing predators. If ingested, orally, of course, the adhesive will induce a sickness dubbed Skeeboo flu. Skeeboo flu targets the nervous system, and symptoms include muscle spasms, vomiting, sudden clairvoyance on the exact function of steam engines, and a high temperature. Scroll down here. Both Weeboos and Skeeboos have a birthmark upon their left thigh at birth, which varies from simple shapes and symbols to oil company and fast food logos. As each Weeboo is born with a Skeeboo and they are deeply integrated into each other's lifestyles, they share the same birthmark and use it to identify themselves and others. Researchers are unsure how these birthmarks are determined due to the use of logos as marks, but the current working theory is that parents choose a symbol based off of their surroundings for their children. Weeboos have 5 sets of vocal cords of varying lengths / widths, while Skeeboos have 4. Both also have empty cavities of varying sizes in their chests that make unique drum-like noises upon being hit. These features allow Skeeboos and Weeboos to make unique and varying noises for musical recreation, luring in of prey, communication, and in their mating ritual. Taxonomy. DNA analysis of both Weeboos and Skeeboos unfortunately have been largely inconclusive. DNA aligns most closely with that of wolverines and other mammalian creatures. However, scientists have also found DNA patterns of dragonflies, turtles, 9mm bullet casings, and fungi. The odd genetic behavior indicates a possibility of the creatures being extraterrestrial, though no conclusive evidence for this theory has been found as of yet. Habitat. Although they are found everywhere across the world, they have been most commonly found in Massachusetts, northern Nigeria, and in a 39-mile-wide subterranean tunnel system deep below the Taj Mahal in India, dubbed the Mahal Depths. Social behavior. Weeboos and Skeeboos are born together in pairs, forming a close bond. Skeeboos often adopt a parental role / older sibling role to their Weeboos. The Weeboos often travel outside the den to gather resources, scout, and report news of local celebrity breakups to their Skeeboo, while Skeeboos protect the den, act as a guide / mentor, perform higher intelligence activities, and provide assistance to their Weeboos outside the den if threatened. While Weeboos are very close to their respective Skeeboos and vice versa, Weeboo-Skeeboo pairs are not commonly known to engage with each other and will rarely interact. There are exceptions, and the most notable exception, however, is the small sub-community that exists in the Mahal Depths. Reproductive process. If a male and female Weeboo encounter each other in the wild, they will attempt a mating ritual regardless of season. While the season, winter, summer, spring, etc., doesn't affect whether they attempt the ritual, they will only perform the ritual, or attempt to anyways, if an episode of Friends is playing on cable television somewhere within a 500-mile radius. While unknown how they determine this, theories that have been proposed that their rear fins pick up the signals from the show, thereby putting them in the mood. The remaining ritual consists of a ceremonious dance, performed to a percussive rendition of Eminem's Lose Yourself, played using their stomach cavities and varying vocal cords. Researchers are unsure if Eminem received inspiration from observing a Weeboo Skeeboo mating ritual, or if the opposite is the case. When questioned on the inspiration behind his song, Eminem replied, "Yeah, those little guys, they taught me, Eminem." Whether this is an allusion to Weeboos or mere ramblings is still unknown. If the ritual is successful, each Weeboo will bring their Skeeboo with them to oversee the ritual, being one of the few times Skeeboos leave the den. Once they re-meet, the Weeboos will begin the act of insemination. Now, unlike the standard penile and vaginal sexual organs of other creatures, male and female Weeboos have a cavity on their left side that is generally held shut through their side muscles. Inside are two spherical organs with a fleshy cords connecting to the inside of the body. One is the reproductive organ that secretes seminal fluids, and the other acts as an egg of sorts. Both males and females have a seminal organ and egg each, but Weeboos of the same gender cannot inseminate an egg of the same gender. Upon mating, a male Weeboo will squeeze the seminal fluids of his reproductive organ onto the egg of the female, and vice versa. All Weeboos are only born with a single egg, and as such, they can only produce once. So, after the insemination process, each Weeboo-Skeeboo pair will return back to their respective dens. The Weeboo will enter a cocoon for about 4 weeks, and in this stage, the embryo will develop inside the Weeboo's side cavity. After this time period, the Weeboo itself will emerge from the cocoon and leave the developing embryo inside the cocoon for further development for about another 5 weeks. Once the process is done, a child Weeboo and Skeeboo pair will emerge from the cocoon and recite a random piece of Shakespearean poetry. This starts the Backgammon process, where the parent Weeboo and Skeeboo will take care of the children, nurturing them, and every day they will play a backgammon game with their offspring. This ritual will continue on until the offspring are successful in beating their parents in a game of backgammon. Once this happens, they are deemed ready to survive in the wild, and they are let off to form their own den. A notable occurrence in the breeding of Weeboos and Skeeboos, however, was observed on September 9th, 1966, when a human child emerged from the cocoon instead of a Weeboo-Skeeboo pair. Scientists are unsure of how this happened, but some pending theories suggest that this may be the origins of humanity. The human and Weeboo-Skeeboo battle. So, in the early spring of 1823, a classroom of children and their teacher in India went missing for approximately 17 days. Of the 25 missing, only 6 were found along a creek approximately 3 miles from the Taj Mahal near a cave entrance to the Mahal depths. Locals were outraged at the deaths, which, of course, and they believed that it was caused by a close encounter with Weeboos. A locally gathered militia, armed primarily with spears, pitchforks, and some firearms, attempted to enter the underground cave network to get revenge on the creatures and hopefully recover the bodies of the students. Where were we? Yes. In the end, they were woefully outmatched, and all 58 of the villagers were killed. Weeboos are known for their adept skills at intercepting polearm strikes of any kind, and aided with their knowledge of the deep tunnels, the villagers found themselves woefully outsped and outmatched. Additionally, the threat that was posed to the Weeboos led to the Skeeboos going on the offensive, and they were able to completely dominate their opponents due to their further adept movement skills, more dangerous claws, and their adhesive back fluids. The Indian government grew worried as the approximate population of Weeboos and Skeeboos below the Taj Mahal was unknown at the time. They did not know how many they would have to deal with, so they established a military force of approximately 2,500 to surround the mouth of the tunnel and exterminate the Weeboos. The Skeeboo High Council organized and concluded that they should call for reinforcements from India and collectively attack the forces. Skeeboos formed basic tubes from vegetation and leaves to attach to their back tubes to precisely aim shots of adhesive like a hose, and basic armoring was formed. These technological advancements, while simple, imply that Skeeboos had the intelligence to make further technological advancements if pressured to. On April 27, 1823, the battle commenced. The Weeboo and Skeeboo forces were overwhelmed by gunfire initially, but tactical cover and the smaller frame of Weeboos allowed for them to evade gunshots and slowly advance on the soldiers. Soldiers that would try to stab the Weeboos using their bayonets would have their guns apprehended by the Weeboos, and their adept skill with polearms. However, they weren't able to utilize the firing aspect of the guns as they did not know how they worked and merely used them as spears. The Indian forces were slowly being grouped back until a retreat was called with 1,783 human casualties and approximately 2/3 of the Weeboos and Skeeboos. Delegates from the Indian government attempted to make a peace treaty with the Skeeboo High Council, and both sides were able to come to an agreement. Signing the Skeeboo Recognition Treaty. The treaty recognized the rights of the Weeboos and Skeeboos to hunt in the nearby wilderness, attend local music concerts, and established a mile-wide off-limits zone to the entrance of the Mahal depths, while the Skeeboo High Council agreed not to hurt humans that avoided the den entrance. No other large-scale battle between humans and Weeboos and Skeeboos have been recorded as of yet. While the Skeeboos demonstrated little military tactics and technology exceeding that of common animals, the on-the-spot development of somewhat complicated tools and armor suggests the ability to develop further if provoked into further combat. I hope my speech over Weeboos and Skeeboos has been very informative for you today, and I hope you will enjoy whatever. Stupid anyway.